Michael Olise has made the leap from Crystal Palace wonder kid to one of the world's football's brightest stars at Bayern Munich. In just his first season, he's delivering world-class numbers, 14 goals, 18 assists at the time of this video, and a brand of football that's electrifying Europe. Let's dive into how he's adapted, evolved, and why he's on track to become a top 5 winger on the planet, if he's not already. From the bright lights of Selhurst Park to the grand stage of the Allianz Arena, Michael Olise's journey over the past 12 months have been nothing short of breathtaking. At Crystal Palace, he was a shining star in a struggling team, a creative magician capable of unlocking defences with a single flick of his wand. Across the 23-24 Premier League season, he racked up 10 goals and got 6 assists, despite missing chunks of the campaign with injury and often carrying Palace's attack almost single-handedly. But, as most people knew, he had outgrown the Premier League's mid-table battles, and in the summer of 2024, one of Europe's true giants came calling: Bayern Munich. Rebuilding under Vincent Kompany, hungry to reclaim their dominance both domestically and in Europe, saw in Olise something more than just a talented winger. They saw a potential game changer. Fast forward to today, and as I mentioned before, he has more than justified their faith. His first season so far with 14 goals and 18 assists, which is 32 GA, yes, for all the GA merchants out there, in just over half a season, in a completely new league, under a new manager, and facing new levels of expectation and scrutiny. But of course, it's not just about the numbers, it's the way he's done it. Dazzling footwork on the wings, delicate weighted passes through crowded defences, instinctive link-ups with Bayern's young sensation Jamal Musiala, and a swagger that screams he belongs at the very top level. Olise hasn't just adapted to Bayern, nah, he's elevated them, injecting unpredictability, flair, and a fresh creative force into a side desperate for new heroes. And now questions are being asked. Is Michael Olise already one of the top 5 wingers in world football? Could he soon be the best right winger on the planet? In this video, we dive deep into Michael Olise's transformation, his tactical evolution under Vincent Kompany, his rise on the Champions League stage, and where he stands amongst football elite. At Crystal Palace, Michael Olise was the heartbeat of the attack. He was given freedom to create, but often isolated and expected to do it all himself. At Bayern Munich, under Vincent Kompany, Olise has stepped into something far more structured, aggressive, and in many ways revolutionary. Kompany's Bayern are not just about possession, they're about relentless control. His pressing structure is the foundation of everything, and it's different from the traditional Bayern high press and hope. It's calculated, organised, and ruthless. In possession, Bayern typically build with 3 at the back and 2 in midfield, but what really defines Kompany's Bayern is how they react immediately after losing the ball. They trigger an aggressive, high-intensity counter press. Michael Olise is crucial in this setup. He's not just a winger waiting for the ball, he's an active presser. When Bayern lose possession, Olise's role is to quickly narrow infield, using his sharp anticipation to cut passing lanes and force mistakes. Instead of pressing blindly, he steers opponents towards pressure traps where midfielders like Kimmich or Lima pounce. But Kompany's structure doesn't just demand defence, it unlocks Olise's offensive instincts even more. Bayern's pressing shape, often a narrow 4-1-4-1 or a 3-2-5 out of possession, creates chaos centrally, and when the ball is won back, Olise is already in an advanced zone. This leads to rapid attacking transitions where he can immediately threaten. In settled possession, Olise operates in the right half space, balancing width and inside movement. His positioning stretches defences horizontally, creating vertical lanes for Musiala to exploit. And when Bayern break lines, Olise is often the receiver, ready to attack the penalty area with minimal resistance. The beauty of Kompany's system is the synchronization. Fullbacks invert into midfield, midfielders rotate outward, and Olise adapts fluidly. Sometimes he holds width to stretch play, other times he drifts centrally to overload the midfield. It's a dynamic, ever-shifting structure where intelligence is prized over rigid positions, and Olise's high football IQ makes him thrive. Unlike at Crystal Palace, where he sometimes floated out of games due to the team's deep defensive block, at Bayern he's constantly engaged, either helping win the ball back, moving defenders out of shape, or being the sharp edge of an attack. Vincent Kompany has created a Bayern Munich that suffocates teams not just with technical brilliance, but with relentless mental and physical pressure. And Michael Olise, with his balance of grace and grit, has emerged as one of the system's biggest winners, evolving from a soloist into a lethal cog in a ruthless machine. The UEFA Champions League is where all the stars are made. Some of the best players to ever play the game have performed at the highest level, which is the Champions League. And it's where Olise has proven he's not just a domestic talent, but a true European level operator. In the group stages, he delivered standout performances, scoring crucial goals against top opposition and providing assists with his trademark disguised passes. His dribbling under pressure, often against the best fullbacks in the world, has been a key asset. In the knockout rounds, his game has evolved even further. Against compact low-block defences, his ability to slow the game down, change rhythm, and pick precise passes has made him Bayern's primary unlocker. His link-up play with Musiala has particularly shone in tight matches where one moment of genius is needed to break the deadlock. He isn't just surviving on Europe's biggest stage, he's dictating games. The calmness and elegance we saw in flashes at Palace are now evident under the bright lights of the Allianz Arena against Europe's elite. One of the first things you notice watching Olise is his incredible sense of space. He's not just fast or technical, he's smart. Olise constantly scans the field before receiving the ball, checking where defenders are positioned. He chooses positions between the fullback and centre-back, it's what's called the half space, to maximise his time and options once the ball comes to him. He's mastered the art of showing for the ball at the right time, either wide and pinned to the touchline to stretch the defence horizontally, or tucked inside between the lines to invite vertical passes. This kind of movement, combined with Bayern's fluid midfield rotations, gives Olise pockets of space to operate that most wingers never find. Technically, Olise is among the elite. His first touch is almost magnetic, instantly bringing the ball under control, even at full speed. This allows him to face defenders immediately and make quicker decisions, beat his man, slip a pass, or accelerate into open space. At Bayern, where the ball moves faster and spaces are tighter, Olise's clean first touch is vital in maintaining tempo and fluidity. Olise's dribbling style is smooth, measured, and deceptive. He doesn't rely purely on explosive pace like some wingers. Instead, he uses quick, tight touches, body feints, and a silky shift of weight to glide past defenders. Olise isn't just a finisher, he's also a creator. At Bayern, surrounded by intelligent movers like Musiala, Kane, Davis, Olise's passing vision has been fully unlocked. He specialises in disguised through balls, chip passes over defensive lines, and quick combination plays in tight spaces. His expected assists are among the highest for the right wingers in Europe this season, proving he's not just getting assists through sheer volume, he's creating high quality chances. Another part of his game which I do believe he's quite underrated for is his tactical adaptability. Vincent Kompany asks his wingers to adjust depending on your position and the game state. Sometimes Olise is a classic wide outlet to stretch a packed defence. Other times he plays as a narrow inside forward, helping create overloads centrally alongside Musiala. He often occasionally drifts into midfield during possession spells to help Bayern maintain the ball under pressure. This level of adaptability at such a young age is a huge reason why Olise's ceiling is being talked about alongside some of the best young players and players in general in world football today. What I will say about Michael Olise, he's not just surviving at Bayern Munich, he's evolving. From a brilliant soloist at Palace to complete tactically intelligent system player under Vincent Kompany, Olise is rapidly turning into one of the most devastating attacking weapons in Europe. With 14 goals and 18 assists in his debut season at Bayern, especially at 23 years of age, the big question has to be asked: is Michael Olise already among the top 5 wingers in world football? Well, most people will probably agree that he does probably pass the eye test. So then we're looking at the stats. Technically, he is in elite company. 32 goal contributions this season, consistent performances, not just in the Bundesliga, but also in the Champions League. And it's not just the volume, it's the quality of his contribution. Olise's chance creation, expected assists, and shot creating actions per 90 minutes rank among the top wingers in the world this season. He's not just finishing moves, he's the architect behind them. Still, the competition is fierce. On the right wing especially, the list of world-class players is stacked. If we're talking about the very best right wingers this season and in a general sense, the names you have to consider include, so you've got Bukayo Saka at Arsenal, producing goals and assists, even though he's been injured this season, but he's still been quite consistent across the Premier League and Champions League for Arsenal. Then you've got Rafinha at Barcelona, who's obviously having an amazing season himself out of nowhere. Then you've arguably got the best young player in the world at this current moment in time, which is Lamine Yamal, his partner in crime. And of course, I can't then forget Mohamed Salah. Even though he's into his 30s, he's just been a newly crowned Premier League champion, having an absolute all-time season. It is absolutely crazy. I mean, there's so many players that could be added, to this list. Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Kvaratskhelia. There's so many, Dembele from PSG. The list, of course, goes on and on, but right now there is a real argument that Michael Olise is firmly amongst those level of players based upon this season. He may not yet have had the big club resume of a Salah or the Champions League final moments of the Viniciuses or the Rodrigos, but purely based on his form this season, he's matching or even outpacing players who are already considered to be world class. I think what's important for people to understand is Michael Olise, he's still got levels to go. If he continues developing his consistency, especially in off-ball movement or defensive intensity, and if he continues delivering in the Champions League, he could easily be in the conversation for top 5, top 3, potentially number 1 winger in world football. A few more seasons like this, and we're talking about a player who could be competing for the Ballon d'Or shortlist. Olise isn't just rising, he's arriving. From South London to the heart of Bavaria, Michael Olise's story is only just beginning. Bayern Munich didn't just buy a promising winger, they invested in a generational talent. If this season is any indication, Europe better watch out. Olise is here to stay.